Hello everyone and welcome to part 4 of my Zoom tutorial series. And today we're just going to have a look at various ways that you can share anything basically on your desktop. For the sake of this tutorial, I'm not going to display my webcam in this window here in Zoom because my webcam is being used to record this video. So let's assume now you're in the class, just like we learned in the last lesson, okay, and you want to start teaching. So there are a variety of things that you can do that enable you to connect with your students through your resources. A most obvious one might be a web page, okay. So let's have a look. Let's go down here to where it says share screen, this green icon here, okay, or you can click Alt S, that does the same thing. That brings up that nice window there. Okay, so immediately we have some options showing up. Depending on what's installed on your computer, there might be more options, okay? But on this particular virtual machine, I've only got these options available to me, and this is really all that you need. Your screen, just sharing the whole desktop, sharing a whiteboard, sharing what's on your iPhone or iPad, and this one here, which is actually sharing a program, an app window that's open, okay? If I was to open Explorer, for example, down here, okay, just as another window, and go back to my sharing, if I reopen that, you'll see now that that's also showing up here. So any window that you have open will show up here, okay? I would suggest, as much as possible, don't share your screen. It's better just to share what's on your screen. That way the students aren't distracted by the program app bar at the bottom with the clock and whatever else might be happening. They're not going to be distracted by alerts, you know, the notification center on the side here, right? If you're sharing your screen, then any alerts that come through there will be visible to your students, okay, which might not be a good thing if your loved one is sending you a nice little note, you know what I mean? So I would suggest just sharing the app windows themselves, okay? So we're going to start with this, which is my web browser. Let's share that now. And optimize for screen sharing, I think so, and click share. So now your students can see the app window, and right now the app window is showing Class Dojo. It's a virtual classroom, like a demo classroom that you receive when you sign up for Class Dojo. So you can use this to guide your students around their online classroom as a reminder and a refresher, or to introduce something new that they haven't seen last time they logged in. Alternatively, you might want to use it to share a website. Okay, I'm focusing here on school resources, but if you're doing a meeting for a business or something for church or any other organization, then you can use the same ideas. Okay, code.org. Okay, this is one of the websites I use when I'm teaching. I can actually go in there, pick the lesson that I'm teaching, and then guide them through. See, I can be doing that to show them how to find whatever they need to find. Minecraft Adventurer, let's have a look at that. Okay, so we can go in here and I can teach the kids from here. I can run the video, I can do all kinds of things purely just by sharing my web browser. Okay. Any websites. This is BBC Schools, okay? Lots of resources there. I'm not telling you what websites to use, I'm just showing you that you can use websites and put them through Zoom, okay? You're not restricted to thinking that, oh, how do I share this because I'm doing this online? No, the screen sharing and window sharing and all that kind of stuff gives you the flexibility to share lots of things in your meeting, whatever kind of meeting that might be. And that can include PowerPoint. So I don't actually have a PowerPoint file open here, but maybe you might have it in Google Drive, for example. So you can run your PowerPoint file in Google Drive like this, or you can run a standard PowerPoint file. I would suggest, though, if you're going to do that, not to run it in presentation mode. Okay, don't hit F5. Unless you're really confident with what you're doing, just browse through the slides just like this, Okay, you can minimize the preview window on the side or get rid of it altogether if you like, but just keep it simple, right? You don't want to add complication to yourself. Just use that KISS principle. Keep it simple. I'll leave the last word off. Okay, so yeah, you can run your PowerPoints or Google Slides or Keynote if you're using a Mac, or if you're using Linux. Okay, you might be using the OpenOffice or LibreOffice alternatives. Okay, you can. It's just an app window. It's really that simple. So let's have a look at some of the other sharing formats here, or sharing types, I should say. New share. You just click on New share. Okay, you can stop the share if you want to by clicking on the red button. Okay, if I just close this first. So if you want to stop that share and go back to your main window, you can do that. Or you can just go back to share screen and share something else and it'll flip it over. Okay, I don't have anything else open, but I do have Whiteboard. Okay, standard feature with Zoom. It's a wonderful feature. Click share, and with this, not only can you draw on the screen like you do on your own whiteboard. Okay, can anyone tell me what 8 times 3 is? Okay, so not only can you do that, but your students can draw as well. They can write on there. Like in a normal classroom, you might invite a student forward to write the answer on the whiteboard. Well, they can write it on the screen using Zoom. So it's actually a very, very nice feature. As well as that, you can stamp, like if they get it right. So let's say your student comes up and writes 8 3s are, anyone guess? Yeah, 24. So, assuming the student gets it right, stamp it. Okay, you've got several stamps here. You can use the tick. If it's wrong, you can put that in. You could leave that blank with a question mark at the beginning, right? Put a star. There's all sorts of stamps you can use here. You can draw people's attention with arrows. Okay, eraser just erases whole lines. Okay, and you can change color. Make sure you go back to draw, of course. So you can change your color to whatever you like. Okay, so Whiteboard is a very simple thing, and if you're not comfortable actually writing on the screen, type. Type on the screen. Students can come up, they can write their answer, or they can click on text and type the answer. Whatever it might be, and of course that answer obviously is quite wrong. So you have a variety of things you can do here. I mean, this is just such a great thing, and at the end of it you can save. Okay, show in folder. Let's open that up. Obviously this is not being shared on this virtual session. You can see it because I'm using screen capturing. But here's the, there it is. So you can keep the work that you do with the students and you can post that back up on your online classroom. Or if you're in a meeting and you've done a brainstorming session, you can keep this as part of the meeting minutes, for example. Okay? So we've basically looked at how to share windows on your desktop, whether it's a PowerPoint or a web browser, which is a very good tool. Actually, if you're just using a web browser and you're using your PowerPoints in the web browser, like in Google Drive or OneDrive, for example, then you can just easily flip between tabs, which makes life so much easier than sharing between different windows. Obviously, a simpler way would be just to share your desktop, but as we talked about earlier, there are possible risks to that. Okay, so I'd suggest not doing that. There might even be like a important email, confidential email from your boss. You don't want that showing up during a meeting. So yeah, we've discussed how to share windows, we've discussed how to do a whiteboard and all the different opportunities that opens up to your students to interact with you directly. So that's it for today, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.